Good afternoon. This is the video newsletter for Buy Sell Short for Sunday, May 22nd. We're starting off today with the Dow 15-minute chart, and you can see almost going into the close, we got that golden cross. That's when the 50-day moving average crosses up through the 200-day moving average. Typically a bullish event for the market, but we failed on that cross and then had a pretty steep sell-off going into the close. We've got resistance, as you can see right now, 12,625. We've got a negative bias to the MACD and to stochastics. So, depending on what news flows out over the next few hours and what the pump is in the morning will determine whether we're able to break out or break down. I do not trust this market right now. We had that big 100-point move down. I've been sitting on my hands, essentially doing nothing for the last couple of days, letting the market decide exactly what it's want us to do. I mean, we're in no man's land right now. We could see a break up higher. We could see the bearish sentiment continue to build up, which is what we're starting to see, and a crack to the downside. Given how frustrating it's been over the last few days, I'm inclined to just sit back and see, where things fall out. Dow daily chart, you can see, again, same resistance line. We've got RSI at the 50 level, negative MACD. Stochastics are oversold, but what I'm fearing in this market, again, as I've said, is what we saw back there in March. We had that mini sell-off on the Egypt crisis. We got a bounce back. We smacked back and forth for a few days, and then we went splat. That's my fear right now. I mean, we've got a lot of, headwinds out there. End of QE2, earnings reports are over. What good news do we have coming, at least in the near term, to propel this market higher? Plus, May, June, typically are shitty times of the year for the market. Can be very frustrating for both longs and shorts. We had the same situation last year as well. SMH, definitely one we want to keep an eye on. Really over the last month, the SMH, even though it's up big, and that was driven by that buyout by Texas Instruments, it really has not been that great of a trade, and we really haven't called it very much. If we got to break through that uptrend support line at 35.50, we've got RSI trying to break the 50 level. We could, be in for some pain. The U.S. dollar is worth taking a note, which is responsible for a lot of the annoyance in the markets recently. Actually, let me go to a closer view on this one. U.S. dollar looks like we could be seeing an up move in the dollar this week. It has actually held the 50-day moving average very, very well. And that, has not been a good thing for the market in general recently. And if we see another break through 76, that's going to be negative for stocks over the next few days. So definitely something to keep an eye on. And check out the stochastics on the dollar. We rarely see this kind of setup. This is a setup we saw in stochastics on the Dow as we were rallying over the last 7 months. You get a big move up, and then, for a few weeks you start trading over the 80 level. That's what could potentially be happening here on the dollar. And a strong dollar right now is not good for stocks. And let's leave it at that. Russell 2K, we got a bounce back. It's holding its 50-day moving average. But let's check out the one-year view on the Russell 2K. And, not that bullish looking at it. I mean, we've got a lot of space. We've got essentially 10% downside risk to the 200-day moving average, which we have not tested since September and essentially since QE2 started. So, we've got some downside risk on the Russell as well. Anyway, let's jump into the few stock plays that we've got going on right now and see what we're looking at. LVLT, we finally got a breakthrough too. We got as high as 204. Then the market started selling off and down went LVLT. Love the setup. I've gone to a full position on this one and picked up a scalp position. Stops for me right now. I'm probably going to let it ride. Stops at the 20-day exponential 177. But really, we should see this one with some nice follow through. If it does what Sirius did for us, I believe 3 weeks ago, we had a similar sort of move on Sirius. We got that break up through 2, and then we saw some nice follow through on the next day, and then it was 240 2 weeks later. So let's see if we can get a similar sort of move on LVLT. This stock was very, very strong on Friday when the market was down 100. So this stock showed some very nice strength in the face of an ugly market on Friday. That is bullish in my eyes. MCZ still trading it on the momentum in its peers, but its breakout is 181, the 20-day exponential. The safer breakout, or another ad spot on this, would be a breakthrough 193 with a 211 target. If you're looking to place stops on this one so that you don't run into the same sort of thing we saw happen on NEI, you can place stops at the support line, 163 or 160 if you've got a little bit more patience. We're looking at a possible MACD cross maybe Monday or Tuesday, and we have gotten a downtrend breakout in stochastic. So we have a couple of possible or positive things on the MCZ chart going into this week. Of course, I've got to mention NEI. What else can I say on this one other than I want my money back from this bitch stock, and we're going to get it back plus some over the next few weeks. So what we'd be looking at right now is a possible dead cat bounce. What a dead cat bounce is when a stock sells off. It's like a cat dropping off a high building, tends to bounce. And that's where you get the dead cat bounce saying from. Possible bounce, could see a bounce back to that gap down 140. 130, 135 is a possible bounce back. RSI, everything's oversold on this one. Trigger would be a stochastics move up through 20, and simple as that. Quick mention on RNN. This one was up in after hours on Friday on news that the CEO bought another 1 million shares of RNN stock. Pretty bullish if you look at it at face value, but if you dig into the filings, it looks like a trust sold the shares to, or gave the shares to the CEO in payment of a debt. So kind of bullish, but it's bullish, but not as bullish as him going out and buying it in the open market. You'll probably see some lemmings jump into this stock and pump it up on Monday because they don't do their due diligence. So if you're looking to scalp this one, you might get a pop to $1.35 on Monday on this one, depending on how the overall market is shaping up. But even aside from that, still a great trading range stock. You pick it up, $1.20, $1.22. Seems to be loving bounces back to that 130 level as you wait for this one to finally break out. CTIC, it's got a D on the end because they did a reverse split, and it still has a ridiculous market cap of $350 million. Even after the reverse split, there's like 170 million shares out. This stock is up. Now, don't laugh. Stock is up because they had a press release on Friday saying they're going to meet with the FDA in June to talk about the drug that the FDA continues to deny and ask for more data. But, this is a crack market. This is a stock that loves to go on really crazy moves, even with its massive float. And I believe in after hours, they were actually chasing the stock up at 260. Madness, in my opinion, but let them chase is what I say, because all eyes are on shorting this piece of crap biotech stock. Let's see how high they can jam this turd tomorrow. Ideally, it would be great to see this one up here at the $3 level. That would be kind of a 3-day red move, and we'd be looking to do similar to what we did on OXGN, make some fat, easy gains when they finally pull the rug on this turd biotech stock. It actually has positive indicators going for it, though. RSI up through 50, positive MACD cross, stochastics up through 50. So, those who were shorting this one on Friday likely are going to be covering on Monday as the hedge funds that game this stock every few weeks look to jam it again. But the news that it's up on, that it's up almost, actually it's up 90% on, is laughable. But, this is a laughable market. Last but not least, SIFY. Actually, I mentioned this one on the pop scan. Would be on watch for a break of $5 for a bounce back to the 20-day exponential at 534. So, as I mentioned, I've gone mega high cash. Only stocks, I flushed everything this week thanks to that ass whooping from NEI. But, it happens. Every trader is going to go through a period where nothing works. And when that happens, you step back, you circle the wagons, you revisit your trading rules, you see what you did wrong, which is why I sent out that video on NEI, how we screwed that up. and you know you look to get back on the horse again, getting your confidence back. But this is a very difficult market. Next year I'm going on vacation in May. This is like the third year in a row that May has sucked balls. It's not one thing, it's another every single year. High cash. Any positions I go into, I'm going to be looking to go into half positions, although I've made the exception for LVLT and MCZ are the two plays I'm holding right now. Another stock I'd possibly be looking at while it's in my mind here is USAT. We got a nice little bounce back on this one on Friday. As I mentioned in the chat room, this is a great buy. I mean, it's a great ranger right now. You buy 210, 225 seems to be a bounce target every single time. Chart is looking to shape up here. Definitely one to keep an eye on as we've got that curling bottom on stochastics. But anyway, half position stance right now. High cash. Going to be looking to do more short plays on ridiculous, stupid runs like we had on CTICD. We actually had some great shorts on Thursday in the chat room. OXGN, let's check that one out. Actually, OXGN ended up being fantastic. OXGN, you know, was an easy 70-cent short play. Another one we did was QPSA in the chat room on Thursday. This was a short when we had that failed move on the IPO, and, you know, it gave a nice, you know, 40-cent short play if you're able to get shorts. And I know some of you have been asking me, you know, OXGN had no shorts available. That's when it pays to have an account set up with some of these prop firms like the one we've got on our website. Definitely go check it out. We're going to be doing a hell of a lot more shorting going forward. And, you know, that's where we stand. Any questions, feel free to send me an email or hit me up in the chat room tomorrow. Otherwise, have a great night. Good night.